Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Atiq Ahmad. Dear students, today we are going to start chapter number 15, homeostasis. Today we will start the chapter and we will study the topic homeostasis and mechanism of homeostasis. So first of all, what is homeostasis? Homeostasis is basically the maintenance of constant environment within the body. Now, what this constant environment means? Constant environment means the maintenance of optimum internal conditions in which the various biochemical reactions takes place within the body. So homeostasis is basically the maintenance of constant optimum conditions within the body in order to carry out the various biochemical processes of the body. Homeostasis is basically the tendency of a cell or an organism to regulate its internal conditions such as temperature, body fluid composition, blood sugar level, various gases concentration like carbon dioxide, oxygen, similarly blood pressure, etc., etc. So homeostasis is basically the tendency of a cell or an organism to regulate its all internal conditions, like we have counted on the temperature, chemical composition, body fluids, etc., etc., to maintain health and functioning irrespective of the outside environment. Now the body will maintain constant internal conditions within a range, and that range is the optimum range, so that the various biochemical reactions within the body takes place in an optimum way. Homeostasis is basically maintained by continuous monitoring of the internal conditions and then appropriate responding whenever some deviation is observed. Now, continuous monitoring is basically performed by the brain, the central processor. So in homeostasis, the brain, the central processor, it continuously monitor all the conditions of the body, and whenever there is some deviation from the normal range, from the optimum range, so then proper response is given to that particular change to reverse that change to the normal range. Now remember, whenever we say that the constant environment, or we say that the constant conditions, so the constant condition does not mean that there is a single figure, single digit which is maintained. For example, if we take the example of temperature, human body temperature, so the human body temperature is maintained within a range, not a single figure. The average body temperature is 37 centigrade, but the range in which the human body temperature is maintained, that range is basically from 97 Fahrenheit to 99 Fahrenheit. In centigrade, this temperature is from 36.1 centigrade to 37.2 centigrade. So whenever we say that the constant internal conditions or the constant environment, that constant environment does not mean that there is a single digit which is maintained, but basically for each and everything there is a range. So the body maintain that particular internal condition within that range. Just like we took the example of temperature, similarly there are ranges for various other internal conditions. For example, blood pressure. Suppose if we take the blood pressure example, so the blood pressure should be within the range of 80 to 120. So similarly the blood sugar concentration, etc., etc. So these are basically ranges, and the body will maintain the conditions within these ranges. For temperature there is a proper range. Similarly for blood sugar level, for blood solute and solvent concentration, for all these variables, for all these internal conditions, there are ranges, and in homeostasis process, the variables are maintained within those ranges. Now we will move toward teaching points, the important points which we are going to discuss here. The main component of homeostasis which are to be kept constant or body fluid composition, body temperature, blood sugar level, blood pressure, gas concentrations, etc., etc. These are various components of the homeostasis which are kept constant within a narrow range inside the body. For example, if we take the example of gas concentration, suppose we take the example of carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is maintained within a narrow range. Means whenever during respiration the carbon dioxide is produced, so it is continuously expelled out of the body. If suppose the carbon dioxide concentration increases in the body, so you know the carbon dioxide is basically acidic in nature, so the blood will become more acidic, and whenever this acidic blood flows to various parts of the body, so those parts of the body will become acidic. So in such a condition, in an acidic environment, then various enzymes will not properly work. So that is why carbon dioxide, oxygen and all other gases are kept within a narrow range inside the body. Same is the case with all other internal conditions, that all conditions are basically maintained within a narrow range. Mechanism of homeostasis, we will move towards the mechanism, but before moving towards the mechanism of homeostasis, we will first discuss some important terminologies. So dear students, if you understand these terminologies, then you will better understand the mechanism of homeostasis. Now, variables. What are variables basically? Whenever we say variables, so variables are basically the internal factors within the body which are influenced by the external environment. We have already discussed several important internal factors. Those all are basically variables. For example, temperature is one of the variable. For example, blood sugar level is one of the variable. For example, blood pressure, gas concentration, these all are basically variable. So variables are the basically are the internal factors within the body which are basically influenced by the external environment. The set point, another terminology we have to discuss, that is the set point. What is the set point? The set point is basically the range which is already set in the memory, in the human memory, in the human brain. And the human body will maintain the concentration of all these internal factors, these variables within that range. So these all variables are kept within that particular range, and that range is basically the set point. That set point is basically a range. This is not a single digit value, but there are ranges for each and every internal factor, and the body will maintain the various internal factors within those ranges. Now the homeostasis mechanism, it basically operates like a physical control system which consists of three components: the receptors, control center and effectors. What are the receptors or sensors? The receptor or sensor basically they detect various changes in the variable and then supply those information to the central processor, the brain, the integrator, or in other words the control center. The second important component of the homeostatic machinery, that is the control center or integrator. The control center or integrator will analyze those information which are transmitted from the receptors through nerves and through chemical coordination. So the control center integrator will analyze those information and will compare those information with the set point which is already stored in the memory. So if the change is as such that the information which is obtained to the integrator that deviates from the normal range, so then the integrator will give order to the effectors, and the effectors are those parts of the body and muscles and glands which produce response, and basically that response is to reverse that change to the normal range. So this is you can say a triangular type of circuit in which are receptors, control center, integrator, and effectors. So whenever there is some change in the internal or external environment, that change is basically received or detected by the receptors, the sensors. The sensors then transmit those information through nerves and chemical coordination through hormones to the control center, the integrator. The integrator will collect the information, will analyze the information, and then will compare those information with the already set point which is already in the memory, those ranges we have already discussed. So if the change is as such that there is deviation from the normal range, so then the control center or the integrator will transmit orders to the effectors, and the effectors will reverse that particular change. We will explain this homeostatic process, this homeostatic mechanism from an example. Now let's take the example of human body temperature. The average human body temperature is 37 centigrade, and in Fahrenheit it is 98.6 Fahrenheit. Now the optimum range which is set in the hypothalamus, the set point, that is basically in Fahrenheit it is from 97 to 99 Fahrenheit. In centigrade it is from 36.1 centigrade to 37.2 centigrade. Now in human body there are thermoreceptors. Thermoreceptors means temperature receptors or heat receptors. These receptors are found in various places. Majority of them are present in the skin. Similarly, they are also found in the liver. They are also found in the skeletal muscles, and they are found in the hypothalamus too. Hypothalamus in the forebrain, it is basically an integrator. And in this integrator, we have discussed that range. So that range of human body temperature that is already set there in the hypothalamus, that is 97 to 99 Fahrenheit, or in centigrade 36.1 to 37.2 centigrade. Now whenever the body temperature rises above this range, so what will happen? The thermoreceptor in the skin, as well as in the liver, as well as in the skeletal muscles, they will transmit this information to the hypothalamus, the integrator. Suppose the temperature is far above than 37.2 centigrade, the upper limit. So the transmitted message will be analyzed by the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus will then order the sweat glands. The sweat gland will produce a sweat. As a result, the extra heat will be evaporated through sweating through water vapor. So the body temperature will be restored again to the normal range, means between 36.1 and 37.2. So this is one of the case that if the body temperature rises above the range, so that message is transmitted to the integrator. The integrator, the hypothalamus, it will order to the sweat gland. The sweat gland will produce sweat, evaporation of vapors in the form of sweat will occur, and the heat, extra heat will be lost, and the body will restore its normal temperature. Now whenever the temperature falls below 36.1 centigrade, means the body is over cold. Now again this message will be transmitted to the brain, to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus will again compare this information with the set point, the range. Now in this case the temperature is below the normal range, so the hypothalamus will order the muscles, and the muscles will produce the shivering reflex. The shivering reflex, you people have heard about, that is a shivering process. So that is basically a muscular process in which the heat is generated basically. So in this way, through the shivering process, the heat will be generated. And due to that heat production, as well as the metabolic rate will be also increased. So due to these processes, the heat is generated and the temperature will again reaches to the normal range. That is between 36.1 and 37.2. So the normal body temperature will be restored. So this is the whole homeostatic process of temperature regulation. Some images: homeostasis, stable operating condition in the internal environment. In the normal human body, the temperature will be stable, the blood sugar level, the gases concentration, etc., variables are constant. Now there are three components which will interact with each other: receptors, integrators, and effectors. We have already discussed that the free nerve endings in the skin, as well as there are several other receptors within the body. So these all are receptors. These receptors will detect the change. The change will be transmitted to integrator such as brain. Brain is the main integrator basically. Brain basically control all the processes. So the brain will analyze their change, and according to their change, an order will be issued to the effectors, the muscles or gland, to reverse that particular change. And then the effectors will reverse the change, and that message will be again fed into the integrator, and the integrator will observe that change, that this is within the limit, so it's all right then. Now another example, this is a simple circuit, that the stimulus changes occur in the internal environment as well as in the external environment, detected by the receptors, then it is transmitted to the control center, and then for the response, the effector will execute the response, and as a result the change will be reversed, and that message will be again transmitted to the control center. Then the control center will check that the particular variable is within range or not. So if it is within range, so all right, otherwise that response will be repeated again and again to bring that change back into the normal range. That's all. Inshallah, we'll see you with the next video lecture. Take care. Allah Hafiz.